We can't. He's an email champ. He's fighting because somebody mailed him the belt. How is that? Did that ever happen in boxing before? And he's talking crazy, and he still got like, come on.
No matter if you like it or not, you can. I'm still the email champ and the franchise champ. So now what?
Got him!
Everybody that was doubting me, everybody that said this and that, they came up with this email champ thing, and now the email champ is the top dog.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck them. I'm the top dog now.
So if you win, you said all that. If you win, I'm not out my contract. Let's make the fight happen. Since you was wanting to talk crazy, let's do that. I want to fight you if you win, Devin Haney.
I want to fight you if you win, Devin Haney.
I want to fight you if you win, Devin Haney.
So what do I do, YouTube? It's your boy King David in this thing, and I'm back at y'all again with another video.
Oh, look at this guy.
So before I get going with the video, man, y'all know what to do. Go ahead, hit the like button, and if you're new here, be sure to subscribe one time for your boy, so we can continue to grow like we need to grow on this channel, you know what I mean? Alright, so cool, with all that out the window, man, y'all see what the title of the video is? Devin Haney versus Tank Davis. The time is now. You know what I mean?
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, man. So you know, I'm sure y'all been keeping up with what's been going on out here in the boxing highways and byways, and it's been brewing for a little while. Devin Haney versus Tank Davis, man. And you know, Devin Haney has been a guy who since he was about 20 years old, 21 years old, he's always been looking to fight the biggest and best competition out there. You know what I mean?
Fuck them. I'm the top dog now.
Devin Haney is one of the few guys who has consistently always been in the mindset of trying to fight the best guys, right? So at 20, 21, he was always calling out Tank. He was always calling out Lomachenko. He was always calling out Teofimo and all these guys. Whoever was the top guy, Devin was always very adamant and very consistent about calling these dudes out. You know what I mean? And for one reason or another, all these top guys, all these so-called best guys at the division, for one reason or another, for whatever reason that you want to come up with, these guys have not been too keen on getting in the ring with a Devin Haney.
I know that.
You know? And, you know, when he was 20, 21, he was coming up through the ranks. I mean, you had a legitimate excuse for not wanting to see a guy like a Devin Haney, right? I mean, you know, he really had nothing to offer as a top contender. You're like, okay, well, you know, this guy's young, you know what I mean? He's not even a champion. He's never won a belt before, you know what I mean? He ain't really fought nobody. Who has he fought, right? That's always the excuse. Who has he fought, right? That's what a lot of these niggas say, right? In order to justify not fighting him, right?
You won the belt with nobody.
And you fast forward to now, right? Actually, you fast forward to maybe about a year ago. Devin Haney is now the WBC champion. He's looking for opponents. He's looking for guys to get in the ring with him. He's doing the same thing he's been doing for the last 4-5 years, calling out all the top guys, right? And even with a title, these guys still seem to not really be in the space to be wanting to get in the ring with a Devin Haney.
Bitch ass motherfucker.
It's still an excuse. You know what I mean? It's still email champ now, right?
He's an email champ. He's fighting because somebody mailed him the belt.
So many guys get belts due to people vacating them, right? I mean, when somebody vacates a belt, it usually means they don't want to fight the contender in line for them to fight for the belt, right? In order for them to maintain the belt, or they just want to move up to bigger and better things. In this particular case, Lomachenko didn't move up to another weight division, right? He simply vacated the belt simply for the hell of it, right? And applied for the franchise belt, right? So you got these guys who just For one reason or another, once again, for whatever reason you want to come up with, they're not keen on fighting Devin Haney as a contender or as a champion, right? With a WBC belt. They give him his own name, email champion, right? They don't call anybody else an email champion. But Devin Haney, a guy who fought his way up, was looking to fight the champion, but the champion actually vacated the belt. All of a sudden, he inherits the name of email champ, right?
He's an email champ.
Fast forward to today, Devin Haney just beat George Kambosos, completely and utterly schooled him, right? And is now the undisputed champion at the lightweight division, right? And
I'm the top dog now.
And the question is always going to be, until proven otherwise, the question is always going to be, are these guys going to want to fight Devin Haney now? You know what I mean? Are these guys finally going to want to get in the ring with Devin the Dream Haney? Are they going to want to see the champion at this particular point in time? Because you can't call him the email champion no more.
He's an email champ. He's fighting because somebody mailed him the belt.
You can't say he's too young or whatever other excuse that you want to come up with, right? You know? You can't say he ain't a big draw. You can't say any of these things, right? So are these dudes gonna want to get in the ring with Devin the Dream Haney now? Are they gonna want to get in the ring? Are they gonna want to get that smoke? Because for the longest time, we've been seeing Devin Haney call out dudes like GERVANTA Tank Davis and Lomachenko. And these dudes not too keen on wanting to get in the ring with Devin Haney.
I know that.
Now, as it stands right now, I mean, we're getting some positive response from Tank, right? Tank actually said he wanted to fight Devin Haney next, which is what we want to hear as boxing fans. Devin Haney versus Tank. I mean, that's the fight to make. That's a really good motherfucking fight. You know what I mean? But I can't help but be skeptical in this whole situation, considering the fact that GERVANTA Tank Davis is still, I repeat, still signed to Mayweather Promotions.
Who mans is this? Get him the fuck out of here.
I mean, still. You know what I mean? According to sources, right? Because we don't know who he's actually with at this particular point, right? You see one story and it says he's still signed to him. You look at another story, it says he's not signed to him, right? You know. But if you follow your boy King David, you know I don't give a shit regardless whether he's signed to Mayweather Promotions or not, because for me, I believe that the fighters always have the final say-so on who or what they're gonna fight next. You know what I mean?
I know that.
Nevertheless, I digress, because according to a lot of Tank Davis fans and a lot of Tank Davis fanboys, the reason why a lot of fights couldn't happen in the past for GERVANTA Tank Davis was because he was signed to Mayweather Promotions.
He's an email champ. He's fighting because somebody mailed him the belt.
Not re-signed with Mayweather Promotions. It sounds like he actually re-signed with Mayweather Promotions. But we don't know whether he signed or not signed. The whole thing is just a big clusterfuck. Either way, we have no choice but to hold Tank responsible for whether or not these fights get done at the end of the goddamn day.
You won the belt with nobody.
But you know what we're going to do? We're going to give Tank the benefit of the doubt. We're going to say that Tank is a man of his word, and he wants all the smoke with Devin the Dream Haney, which is exactly what us as boxing fans actually want, right? Now, if he indeed wants to fight, and we know Devin wants to fight, and this fight gets made, this fight is, without a doubt, the best fight in the lightweight division.
I mean, it don't matter if you don't want to make the big fights happen. You might as well stay with your promoter that you're with now.
In my eyes, Tank and Devin Haney are by far the best lightweights, right? By far. The other lightweights don't even come close to Tank and Devin Haney, right? So this is just a very competitive, very interesting, very entertaining matchup for the fans. You know,
Jesus Christ.
I think this fight is going to go a lot differently than what a lot of people think it's going to go. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to say who I'm going to pick per se, but I'll tell you this. Both fighters have a very good chance at winning this fight. Both Tank and Devin Haney have legitimate ways that they can win. You know? Tank Davis has his power. I mean, come on, man. The dude has a 90-something% knockout ratio. Tank Davis's power is second to none, man. The only person hitting harder than him is Deontay Wilder. You know what I mean? Dude is knocking everybody out who he gets in the ring with. I mean, that's impressive, no matter how you slice it. And then you couple that along with his boxing skills, his counter-punching ability, his ability to pot shot. Tank actually has pretty good foot movement for somebody who has the kind of power that he has, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times when you deal with somebody who has really good power, it's usually somebody who has to plant their feet, right? In order to get all the power into their shots, right? But for Tank actually is able to move his feet pretty well, cut the ring off very well, but at the same time, get a lot of power off of his shots. So if Tank Davis is able to somehow close the distance on Devin Haney, if he's able to hurt him, that's all she wrote. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, for Devin Haney's the longer guy. Devin Haney has the better jab. Devin Haney has the better reach. Devin Haney is able to fight more efficiently from the outside. If Devin Haney is able to keep Tank at bay, if he's able to control distance, if he's able to stay away from Tank's power punches, not get nailed with anything flush or clean, if he's able to box well for 12 rounds, he can easily cruise to a unanimous decision over at Tank Davis. Both fighters don't have a high work rate at all, but honestly and truly, if it comes down to the battle of low work rates, Devin Haney is going to be the one doing the better work because he's going to be the one landing more jabs. So I just think that this is a very interesting stylistic matchup. I think it's a very interesting matchup in general as far as what's going to happen in the fight. I think there's a lot of history in this fight in a sense where both Devin Haney and Tank, you know what I'm saying, they both have some history. They actually sparred together, y'all. You know what I mean? And, you know, I'm going to let Mayweather say it.
You put one of your fighters against
Devin Haney?
Yes, I did.
Who'd you put, Devin Haney?
You better believe it.
How did that go?
How did it go? Man, don't even ask the question. it ain't even worth asking because it was a one-way deal. It only one man controlled it, and that was Devin Haney.
So you heard, you know, Floyd Mayweather Sr. said that Devin Haney got the best of him in that sparring. You know what I mean? You know. So this fight will be an opportunity for Tank to get a little bit of revenge versus a Devin Haney. You know what I mean? I think it's just very interesting. Very, very interesting. And I can see Tank struggling a lot in this fight versus a Devin Haney. Devin Haney, the thing about Tank Davis is Tank Davis has never fought anyone with the boxing acumen anywhere near a Devin Haney. If you look at all the opponents that Tank Davis fights, he fights a lot of guys that are taller than him, right? He fights a lot of guys that are longer than him, right? But most of the guys that Tank Davis fights are guys that give up their reach and their height, okay? Mexican fighters that give up their reach, give up their height, try to fight on the inside with a guy who has shorter arms and faster hands. That's what a lot of them do if you think about it, right? From Leo Santa Cruz to Mario Barrios, right? Even the Pitbull Cruz was actually shorter than Tank, and if you notice, he was shorter than Tank, so he was actually able to do better because he was shorter than Tank, and he was able to fight better on the inside. You know what I mean? But the guys that are longer than Tank, that have longer arms, and that don't have the legs to be able to give Tank any angles or any movement, and who constantly give up their height and their reach advantage by trying to fight on the inside, those are going to be guys that Tank's going to take out easily. But that's not the type of fighter that Devin Haney is. Devin Haney is the longer, taller fighter, but at the same time, he fights longer and he fights taller. He fights at a distance on the outside. He has one of the best jabs in boxing. So he's going to give Tank major problems. But at the same time, Tank is able to hurt Devin. We've seen Devin hurt before by guys that don't punch nowhere near as hard as a GERVANTA Tank Davis. So this is just a very, 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 very interesting fight, man. You know, very, very interesting. Unfortunately, we all know that Devin has this fight with Kambosos, a rematch he's going to do it versus Kambosos. But this is the fight that needs to be made. Now is the time. You know what I mean? Now was the time. Fuck George Kambosos. We seen that nigga get dominated already. Fuck George Kambosos. You know what I mean? I understand Devin Haney is gonna try to make. He might have to fight George Kambosos, but fuck that dude. At the end of the day, this is the fight to make. It's the most important fight. It's the most intriguing fight. And to me, this fight proves more than anything else that either of them can do in their careers. Point blank, period. But let me know what your thoughts is on this shit, man. Hit it up in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. And everybody, and I do mean everybody, be sure to hit that goddamn like button. But until next time, I'ma holla at y'all. Peace.
What's that? Let him know what it is. What he got?
You know what it is. He funny as shit.
They gonna get it on.
He funny as shit. And you know what? I'm a salute Tank, because when he was on here, he did say you got out on him in the sparring. He said, I got tired. He turned up a little bit on me, but it wasn't like how he was.
No, he lied. He lied though. He lied because he said that he hurt me. He almost knocked me out or some shit. What he say? Something like that.
Yeah, he said he almost knocked you out and Floyd had to grab him.